Welcome to the Minoru Arenas where the Richmond Ravens are set to take on the Vancouver Angels. This is the third game in 3 days for these girls. They're coming off of a 5-2 loss over in North Vancouver. Players are making their way to the bench. We get set for the game. It's way. All right, we have McDonald take the face off for the Richmond Ravens. She's getting set up at center ice. Puck is dropped, face off run by the Ravens, and not Sear going to take it out the far side. She fires it in and gives chase from behind the goal line. The Vancouver Angels lose control of it. There's a shot towards the net. It gets cleared out by the goaltender, and now the Angels come up the near side. Angels work their way down the near side and out towards the net. Babcock's going to put a stick on that, or a glove on that, stop the play with 14:39 remaining in the first period. We have our first stoppage in play. Miguel will take the face off. You got David and Sear with her, with Morin and David on her. Defensive core. David picks it up and she headmans it around to the far side. She's going to pass that forward. It gets in front of the target and out to the neutral zone where it gets onto the stick of one of the Vancouver players. Vancouver has it in their zone. They're going to go D to D and now bring it down the near side. Vancouver makes their way to the blue line, but they get offside. Now they have to delay. They walk back in, and now they come in. They're going to shoot it around to the near side as they go for a change, and it's going to get picked up by Morin. Morin with some room is going to work her way up the near side. Her pass forward onto the stick of the Ravens forward. She's going to carry it in, and now in behind the net, it's picked up by the Vancouver team. So play comes back out, down to the blue line, shot back in by the defender for the Ravens. Ravens are unable to control it as the puck bounces around their feet in the high slot down in the Vancouver zone. Ravens have it on their stick. They try to come out to the point. From the point, there's a shot right on, saved by the goaltender, rebound, clear to the wall. Ravens have it. They try to go back to the blue line. Now a shot from the blue line, wide of the net, and it goes out to the far side. Stepping up on the play there, the Ravens hold it on side briefly before it gets fired down ice. Back to pick that up is Morin. Morin turns and puts it back up the ice. A touch pass gets it to the blue line, and that's about as far as it goes before it gets fired back in. Morin touches it on her stick, and now the puck goes up and into the netting. The face-off will stay inside. We got 13 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in the first period. We're tied at 0. Face-off deep in the Ravens zone. It's going to be the right side of Babcock. Okay, Tran and Tran are out there with Nishi and Sear. Shot right on, saved by Babcock, comes over to the near side. From the near side, they try to center it. The Ravens hold it to the outside. Now the Ravens looking to break it out. It comes down to the near side for Tran. Tran just in front of her. Puck goes over to the far side. Nishi has it on her stick. She loses the handle on it. Now the player from the Vancouver team comes in. She's going to shoot that, but it's going to go wide and come out the near side. Kay's the first one there. Kay with a centering pass out to the middle. It's on the stick of Tran. Now goes over to the far side. Nishi steps up on that. They get it around her. Now towards the net into a shooting area, and the Ravens take over. Tran with it on her stick. Tran up the near side. Now she cuts to the middle. Tran loses the handle on that, and it goes back to the neutral zone. Ravens from in front of their bench fire it down ice and go for a change. Vancouver Angels put it into the Ravens zone, and now the Ravens get down ice. I think we have icing on this one with 12 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in the first period. Face-off will come all the way down. I think it's going to be to the right side of Babcock. David Morin out there with McDonald. Miguel and Sear. Miguel to take the face-off, puck is dropped. Face-off comes out to the middle, picked up there by the Ravens. McDonald working her way down the ice. She takes a stick check now on her backhand, tries to wrap it in front. It goes through the blue paint and out the other side. On the near side, a battle ensues for it. It goes into the corner on the far side as the Ravens get it on their stick. They come back to the blue line, held to the blue line by Moore, and she goes D to D, and now a shot from the point. It goes wide of the net. From behind the net, they wrap it around out front and into the blue paint, unable to capitalize on that, though, and it gets cleared out to the outside. Play stays down low in the Angel zone. the battle for it are right around the hash marks down at the far end, and now the Angels come out with it. Angels looking to stretch that out, and the Ravens get control of it. They shoot it towards the net just wide, comes back to the corner and back out to the top of the circles. From there to the point, and now a shot in. Goes high in the air, now right on the Ravens stick. She shoots it towards the net, and it comes out to the other far side. Angels getting good pressure on them from the Ravens here. Now they try to reverse the play around to the near side, looking for some open ice. Ravens with lots of pressure down low to the top of the circles, now walking out with it. Ravens walking into a shooting position, shot right on, scores! Ravens Cabana puts it in the back of the net with 11 minutes remaining in the first. As the Ravens maintain pressure for the last 2 minutes in the zone there. Ravens lead 1-0. Cabana, Wing, and Hernandez are out there for the forwards. Back on D is Nishi and David. Sorry, Sear. Puck is dropped. It goes over to Sear's wing. She's going to pick that up, puts it off the wall, and it gets to the neutral zone, and now the Ravens are going to dump it in. The Ravens give chase in behind the goal line as the Angels pick it up. They reverse it up the near side. It's going to come back to Nishi, who fires it back in. Play continues as Cabana tries to cut towards the middle, and now the Angels have it. Angels coming up the near side. Now they cut to the middle. They get pushed to the outside, and with a couple of moves at the blue line, the whistle goes as an offside is called. 10:34 remains in the first period. Nishi and Sear remain out there for the defenders. Hernandez takes the face-off. Puck is dropped. It's won back by the Angels. They're going to fire it out the far side. Sear goes over to pick that up. She's going to shoot it off the wall out to the neutral zone. And now a couple of toe drags and puck turns over. And the Ravens go down ice. Ravens through the neutral zone, and now a shot hits a body onto the stick of one of the Angels. Angels at the top of the circle. Now they get it out to the blue line. Ravens hold it in briefly before it comes out to Nishi in the neutral zone. Nishi over to the near side for Cabana, and Cabana dumps it in. Puck in behind the net, fired around. She fans on that passing or clearing attempt, and the Ravens able to complete their change. Ravens way down low, and the puck comes back to the blue line. Walking the blue line, the Ravens defender opts to put it in, back in behind the net. From behind the net, the Ravens are waiting for it. Their pass forward gets onto a stick of the Angels, and now it goes back the other way. Ravens working it down low. I think that's Tran working on with it in the corner, and she's getting some help there. Angels are holding it down low. The refs are asking them to move it. Now the play continues as a puck squirts out and goes in behind the net. Kay goes in after that. Puck comes to the near side. Battle for it happens. Now the Ravens walk out with it. Wing, I think that's Wing with that on her stick. She loses the handle. Trans comes in to help her out. Now it goes up off the dasher and down the ice. Ravens able to get control of it at the top of the circles. Now they lose a handle on it, and it comes out and into the Vancouver zone, our Vancouver bench. We got a stoppage in play with 9 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the first period. Ravens ahead 1-0. Shot towards the net, now goes to the outside. From the outside, Nishi fans on that. It comes over to the near side. McDonald's there. McDonald gets it in her feet. It comes out from under her feet and into the Now back into the corner. Miguel with it. Miguel goes back in behind the net with a button hook, and now she gets double teamed as they go into the ref. Ref gets out of the way as the puck gets under the feet, and now Sear comes in, digs it out, and now Sear's off to the races on the far side. Sear with some speed up the far side. She dumps it in, and the Ravens go for a change. Puck comes around the near side, deep in the Vancouver zone. Ravens give chase as they complete their change with lots of pressure down low. They dig it out. Ravens now are going to go in behind the net. Puck comes out the near side. They give chase again. Play continues as the Ravens get it on their stick. Ravens held to the outside by the Vancouver team. It looks like they're double teamed down there with two white players on every red player. The battle continues. The Ravens try to walk out with it, and Ravens unable to hold it onside. Oh, they did hold it onside briefly, but now Vancouver has it. Vancouver walking in. Vancouver gets their way through, now right to the net. They shoot it just wide of the net. Cabana's the first one there for the Ravens. Cabana puts it around behind the net, looking for Sear on the far side. Sear has it. Sear goes up the wall. It gets past the defender and out to the neutral zone, and now out to the Vancouver end as Vancouver doubles back and comes back at the Ravens with some speed. They're going to cut to the middle and get stick checked. Play continues. Ravens hold it to the outside, and now they have it on their stick. Go off to the races with that is Tran. She pushes it forward for Kay. Kay with a shot, and it hits a body, and now comes up the near side. Vancouver with it and speed through the neutral zone, and now into the Ravens end with a good stick check there. It ends up coming back to the net, and Babcock's going to hold on to that one as the play gets directed in onto her. 6:21 remains in the first period. Ravens ahead 1-0. Trying to take the face off for the Richmond Ravens. Puck is dropped. It comes over the near side, our far side. Morin puts it around to the near side for Kay. Kay chips it forward looking for Tran, and Tran has got speed. She's got room, and she's got ice. She shoots it towards the net. She hits the outside of the net, and it goes in behind the net. From behind the net, it goes back over to the far side. Ravens have it. That's Tran with it. The older sister puts it in there for her younger sister, and now the two of them go to work down low. Puck squirts out the far side, now comes over to the near side. From the point, it's on the stick of David. She puts it back in deep. Now around into the circle on the near side. Play reversed as the wall was sealed up by Ravens. Ends up on Tran's stick. Tran from behind the net. Play continues down in the corner. Now it goes around to the far side with a little bit of vigor. Ravens able to seal the wall off. Now they get it across the ice, and the first player there is an Angel. Vancouver work their way up ice. Ends up on the stick of David. David across ice. She gets it out into a pile of white players. There's too many players on the ice for the Vancouver Angels, and they're going to be a power play for the Richmond Ravens with 5 minutes and 11 seconds remaining in the first period. Ravens ahead 1-0. Power play unit comes out. It's McDonald, Sear, and David. Back on the blue line is Sear and Nishi. Miguel takes a face off. She wins that. The shot hits a body. Doesn't make it to the net. Play continues as the Ravens had control of it for a second and now gets cleared around the wall. Back to Nishi. Nishi puts it back down low. From behind the net, it's on a Vancouver stick. She tries to find some open ice. Ravens give chase. Now the Ravens have control of it. Ravens from behind the net as they look to try to set it up. They come back to the blue line with it. Walking the blue line. The Ravens have it. They put it to the top of the circles on the near side. Now across ice. From across ice, there's going to be a shot from Nishi that hit the back of the net and went in behind. Ravens now with control of it behind the goal line if they're in a battle for it. Play continues. Now the Ravens dig it out with a wrap. It comes out the far side. Now a shot towards the net. Bounces around in front. And the Ravens put it in the back of the net as they convert on their power play. They go ahead 2-0. 4:18 remains in the first period. Ravens now ahead by 2 goals. Looks like it was McDonald that scored that one. Hernandez comes out to take the face off for the Ravens. She's got Cabana and Wing with her. Puck is dropped. It comes over to the near side. The Ravens defender gets control of it briefly, and now it's on the stick of one of the Vancouver team. Vancouver carries it to the outside, now in behind the net. Cabana comes in to help out. She reverses the play. It ends up going out the far side for Wing. Wing's the first one there. Now she looks up ice. The puck bounces, and Cabana's off to the races. Cabana in the foot race. They're saying no ice on the play, so Cabana's be the first one there. Her centering attempt bounces out front, comes through the slot and back to the outside. Play to the side of the net. Ravens Wing with it. She doubles back. Back to the point. From the point, walking to the point, there's a shot. It hits the body and goes wide. Now back into the zone. It comes around to the near side from the far side. And shot back to the blue line. Ravens hold it onside, and they're going to fire it back in. Play comes around to the near side. Puck moving around, changing hands. And now Vancouver has it. Vancouver with a stick check against them from the Ravens, and now they're going to get it off the glass and down the ice. Play comes all the way down into the Ravens zone. Babcock is going to cover that one as she has some pressure on her. 3:06 remains in the first period. 2-0 is the score in favor of the Richmond Ravens. Nishi comes out. Kay, Tran sisters, and Morin on the far side. Play put around to the near side. Kay's the first one there. Kay with some pressure. Puck goes up the wall and held in there by the Angels. Ravens get on their stick. Now Nishi steps up and the Ravens go off the wall. Angels hold it in, put it down low. From behind the net, Nishi steps out and tries to pick up the... Oh, a great move there by Tran to carry it up the ice. Tran now the far side. Her pass gets into the feet of the defender. And the play goes to the outside. Now it comes back to Tran. Tran tries to center it. That hits a stick and goes in behind the net. Now from behind the net, it goes around to the far side. Actually bounced right out in front. The goaltender played it over to the offender. And now the Vancouver team comes up ice with it. Vancouver working their way in. They put it through the defender and onto Babcock, who covers that. 2:18 remains in the first period. 2-0 is the score. Face off to the right side of Babcock. Trying to take the face off. Puck is won by the Vancouver team. They try to walk to the net. The Ravens hold them to the outside. Sear with it on her stick. She turns it back the other way. Play continues. Now from behind the net, it gets centered out front. Waiting for it was Nishi. She clears it out to the wall. Now the Ravens chip it forward. The defensive core goes for a change. Shot right on, saved by the goaltender. It goes out the far side. Puck comes back to the point. From the point, stepping up on it with a slap shot wide of the net was David. Play comes back to the top of the circles, and now the Ravens hold it in. Walking the top. The point was, I think that was Cabana. Play goes in down low and now comes out to the near side. From the near side, chipped in by the Ravens. Okay. Vancouver has it. They come back out for Morin. Morin chips it in deep again. Vancouver with it on their stick. Ravens now, we're going to pick it up. They shoot it towards the net. It bounces wide as it goes behind the net. Up the near side, the Ravens seal the wall. It's the blue line, held in. Now back out to the slot where the Ravens carry it. They go through the house and now back to the point. Waiting for it there was Morin. Morin came across for her D partner. Now a shot towards the net. 51 seconds remains in the first period, and the goaltender's going to hold on to that one. We get a stoppage in play. Face off to the right side of the goaltender with 47.5 seconds remaining in the first period. Puck is dropped, face off won by the Ravens. They get a shot off. That's saved by the goaltender. She muscles that down. Rebound, put right on, and the goaltender makes the save. 41.8 seconds remains in the period. As the puck makes its way over to the left side of the goaltender, deep in the Vancouver zone. Hernandez to take the face-off. Puck draw, face-off won this time by the Vancouver team. They get a stick check as the Ravens try and get control of it. Vancouver gets it. Now they get it past the defender holding the blue line by waiting for it back in the Ravens zone with Sears. She puts it up ice, and the Vancouver team has to go back and pick it up. The Ravens gets past them. They're able to hold it in. Is jumping on the play with Sears. Oh, they're saying she didn't hold it in. It's offside. Stoppage of play with 19.6 seconds remaining in the period. Puck is dropped, face off one back by the Ravens. It gets on the Sears stick. She goes up the ice to the far side. Wing picks that up. Wing from the outside now. She's going to double back and put it off the wall back to the blue line. 8.5 seconds, a shot right on, saved by the goaltender. It gets kicked to the outside. Ravens still controlling it down low, and that's going to do it for the end of the first period. Shots on goal are 10-3 to this point in favor of the Richmond Ravens. And now the coach's job to go to work. And the buzzer goal is signaling the start of the second period. The ref's blown the whistle, and he's asking the players to make their way back to center ice. We're working our way into the second period. The Ravens goaltender is going to be down at the far end of the ice. Babcock makes her way down as they're waiting for the Angels to get done their little cheer. Another whistle goes, signaling they really like to get started here. Vancouver's goaltender makes her way down to the net. McDonald has to take the face off for the Richmond Ravens. All right, here we go. Face off one by the Ravens. They push it forward. Ends up on the stick of one of the Vancouver players, and they're going to work their way through the middle of the zone. They cut to the middle and work their way into the Ravens zone. Now a little bit of a button hook as they tried to slow the play down. The Ravens pick it up, and McDonald comes out from the outside. McDonald walks her way in a shot. And now she's drawing a penalty as the puck goes out for the blue line to cross to the near side. The first one there is Miguel. Miguel leaves that. And there's a penalty called on the play as McDonald with some speed drew a hooking penalty. Ravens go to the power play. 19:34 remains in the second period. Score 2 for the Ravens, 0 for the Vancouver Angels. Power play unit comes out for the Ravens. Miguel to take the face off. She's got Sear and McDonald with her. Play comes to the outside. Stepping up on that is Nishi. She shoots that towards the net, blockered away by the goaltender. Now cleared down ice. Back after it is the Ravens defender. Babcock puts it to the outside as the on-rushing Vancouver player caused some problems for the Ravens for their breakout. Puck gets into the feet of the Ravens forward and now comes around to the near side. Sear with it on her stick. She's going to come up ice. Now she cuts to the outside. Sear works her way all the way in down low. Sear now. She passes it. It rolls on McDonald and now down the ice it goes. There's some speed there by the Ravens as they have some pressure on them. From behind the net, the Ravens have it now. Ravens stop up, now drop it back. Play continues as the players come together on the wall and now working their way in with it. It's Sear. Sear works her way right to the net, unable to get a clean shot off though, but the puck is down low. Now Sear leaves it for Hernandez. Hernandez out to the wall on the far side. Hernandez, she's going to button hook back as she has all the room. A backhand back to the point. From the point, back down for Hernandez. Hernandez walks in, shoots right on, saved by the goaltender. Rebound off the back of the net and over to the wall for Hernandez. Hernandez now back to the blue line. From the blue line, it goes D to D. And a shot just wide of the net. Comes out the far side. Hernandez unable to get that one off as it came out to where the net was open. Hernandez being watched. She puts it back to the blue line. From the blue line, back down to Hernandez. Oh, she shot it, and it goes into the net. That's Halsey's belief. I thought it was coming down to Hernandez. Instead, she shot it from the point, and the traffic was there, and it beat the goaltender over her glove side. Ravens 3, Vancouver 0. Puck is dropped, face off won by the Ravens. They're going to fire it in and get chase. Vancouver with it on their stick deep in their own zone. They put it up the wall. Ravens read that. Hernandez walks out with it. Hernandez on the center. Now a shot. The goaltender just got enough of it off a wing shot from point blank to push it out to the outside. Now a shot right on. Rebound comes out to the outside. Cabana goes around behind the net. Goes over to the far side for Hernandez. Hernandez dumps it back in behind looking for some help from her forwards. Play comes back out to the middle. Now chip to the outside. Hernandez with a stick left, and now she gets control of it. Hernandez fights off 3 white jerseys. Now they get control of it. They put it right out in the middle, and Cabana's going to pick it up. Cabana carries it around to the near side. Cabana now dropping it back to the point. From the point, shot towards the net, tipped just wide. Puck goes over to the far side. Now the Vancouver team tries to turn it around to the near side as they're looking for some open ice. Vancouver with it on their stick. They're going to double back now as they're trying to find a escape route. They go up the wall on the far side and now off the wall and to the blue line where it's gloved down by the Ravens. Ravens hold it inside the blue line for a brief second and now it gets out to the neutral zone. Vancouver with it, they get around the first defender but not the second defender. She catches him with a stick check and the play comes back up ice. Ravens with it on their stick. That's Tran with it. Tran cuts to the middle and then she puts it up ice. Now gets turned back. Tran with a stick on it. Behind the goal line, play continues as the Ravens now hold it onside. Tran with it. She's going to go back to the blue line off of the bench. That's Kay with it. Kay with a shot hits a body and it goes just wide. Tran battling for it. Puck gets kicked out by Vancouver. Vancouver now doubles back. Ravens waiting for it. Tran chips it around the player and now Tran's going to try to center it. Tran gets back on her stick. She shoots it short side, hits a body, and now the younger Tran has it. Tran now with it, but right for Kay in the slot. She shoots it. Now it's picked up by it's still loose. Goaltender finally covers it as Tran was waiting on the doorstep. 15:50 remains in the second period. Tran right stays on for the face-off with Kay and Tran. Vancouver comes in to take the face-off. Puck is dropped, face-off one to the wall by Vancouver. They're going to shoot it hard behind the net, and it comes out the near side. From the near side, their center or breakout attempt gets back to the Ravens neutral zone and onto Morin's stick. Morin fans on her passing attempt, but they get it down back down ice and into the Vancouver zone. Vancouver goes around the other side as they're looking for open ice to come back into the Raven zone. A stretch pass comes across the zone and over to the far side. The first one there is a Richmond Raven. She's going to carry it in behind her net as she's being pressured. Ravens unable to clear as it gets put back down low. Now to the outside. Vancouver has it. Vancouver from behind the Ravens net. Cut in behind. Now they get pushed to the outside by the Ravens defenders. It goes to the wall before it gets fired back in behind Babcock's net and around to the far side. Play continues down low. Ravens with a little bit of room. They put it up the wall. Ends up on a Vancouver stick, and she's going to try and cut out with it. Tran with it, though. Tran's going to carry it back out into the neutral zone. Tran working her way in now with a couple of moves, and she cuts to the middle. She's unable to control it. Now gets back in as the Ravens dump it back in, and it gets on Sears. Our shot hits a body, goes to the outside. Puck come back onto the stick of the Vancouver players, and they're going to try and pass it forward. That's stopped by the Ravens, and they get it back deep. In after it is McDonald. McDonald from behind the net. She's going to center it now right on, saved by the goaltender who covers up. Miguel was waiting on the doorstep, and there's a good centering pass. Miguel unable to convert there. 14 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the second period. Face off to the left side of the Vancouver goaltender. Miguel to take the face off for the Ravens. Puck drop, face off won by Miguel. Comes back to Miguel. Miguel to the outside. Miguel fans on her pass back. Now it ends up on the stick of one of the Vancouver players. Vancouver, they try to put it up ice, and we're going to have icing called as the pass doesn't convert. 14:06 remains in the second period. 3-0 is a score for the Richmond Ravens. Miguel remains on for the face-off. She's got McDonald and Sear with her. Drop face-off one right to the middle. McDonald walks in. McDonald unable to get a clear shot off though as she gets into some body position with somebody or with one of the Vancouver players, and the puck gets cleared out. Puck back in the Vancouver zone. Vancouver tries to go D to D, and they convert that, but they have to back in. It comes back to the blue line. Now the Ravens give chase as Vancouver comes across the zone on the near side. Back to the Ravens blue line. The Ravens get it back outside now on the stick of one of the Vancouver players. They get it forward. Now a shot by the Ravens wide of the net, and it goes out the far side. From the far side, Ravens pick it up, drop back the blue line, chipped into the high slot before it ends up on the stick of the Vancouver players, and they carry it to the outside. They get chased by Cabana out the near side there. Now back to the blue line for Sear. Sear chucks it towards the net. It goes in behind the net. First one there's Cabana. Cabana with a chip off the back wall, and now it ends up on the Vancouver stick. Vancouver comes back up the near side. Ravens waiting for that. They shoot it back in, well wide of the net. Comes out the far side for Wing. Wing unable to handle that one, and now it ends up on the stick of one of Vancouver. Vancouver is going to cut down the near side. They lose a handle on it, but pick it back up again. Now a shot across the zone. It gets to the top of the circle. Put back to the blue line. The shot from the blue line. Babcock able to get control of that and put it up over our net. Puck comes back up the near side. Over in the Vancouver zone, they dump it forward. And now it gets back in the Ravens zone. Ravens push it back to the neutral zone. It goes over to an open wing where the Ravens get control of it. Now the Ravens are going to fire it in. They end up hitting the defender, and she turns back in behind her goal line as the Ravens are on a change. Puck comes around to the near side. Now from the near side, Ravens slap at it, but it hits a body and comes deep in the Ravens zone. Ravens from behind the own net put it up a wall on the near side. It gets through the forward and now cut to the middle. The shot goes, or a pass comes across the slot, but goes over to the far side, right through the house. Puck down low, now bounces out to the half wall, and the Ravens are going to pick it up. That's Kay with it. She passes it forward onto the stick of Cabana, and Cabana cuts to the outside. Cabana protects the puck with her. Now right out to the slot. Great pass there by Cabana, but the Ravens unable to get a shot off as the Vancouver team comes back the other way. A back check there by Tran. Now it's on the stick of the defenders for the Ravens. They're going to come up the far side wall, walking up with it. The Ravens right down the line. Out to the outside now to around in behind. Tran has it. Tran tries to center it, hits a skate. Her sister steps in to help out. They cycle it down low. Now back to the point. From the point, shot towards the net. Right on, but rebound picked up and saved by the goaltender. It's underneath of her, and they get a Stoppage in play with 11 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the second period. Ravens ahead 3-0. Face off to the right side with the goaltender. Tran out to take the face off. She's got her sister and Kay out there. Face off won by the Vancouver team. They put it in to their defender and then back around to the near side. From the near side, they come back out to the neutral zone. That's on the stick of David, and David's going to dump it back into the Vancouver zone. She's going to give chase herself. That plays reversed and goes back out to the face-off out on the far side, but gets past the forechecking Tran and now out to the middle and past the Ravens forward. They get a shot off. Babcock makes the save, and now the play goes back the other way. Kay with it on her stick. She's going to headman it down the ice. Kay looking for a play. She's going to drop it back. Tran with it on her stick. She cuts to the shooting area and shoots it right on, saved by the goaltender. 10 minutes, 31 seconds remains in the second period. Miguel for the face-off. Puck is dropped, face-off won by Miguel, but it ends up coming out to the wall. The defender chases it in. Now the Ravens try to keep it in. They're successful in that. Puck hops. Miguel kicks it forward. Miguel puts it back to the blue line. From the blue line, it's shot just wide of the net. The tip just misses. Now McDonald tries to put the puck back to the blue line. She ends up coming out to help her defender as the puck goes back in behind the zone. Sear with it on her stick. Sear centers it right on. It bounces around and gets into the blue paint before the Vancouver team clears it out to the top of the point. Now it gets cleared out into the neutral zone and Sear mishandles it and the Ravens have to touch up. Ravens get it deep and now they touch up. No, they didn't touch up. Play continues. Puck is back in the neutral zone. Shot right on. Saved by the goaltender in the first one. There's a Raven. So she's going to hold on to that one. And we had a stoppage with 9 minutes, 39 seconds remaining in the second period. Hernandez to take the face-off for the Richmond Ravens. She's got Cabana and I think wing with her. Puck back to the blue line. Morin with a shot from the point. Just goes wide. Hernandez with that. She puts it over the near side for Cabana. It hits the back of the net, so Cabana has to double clutch there. Cabana with it on her stick. She's got a little bit of room. She passes it forward. Now it ends up on the stick of the Ravens. Cabana and Hernandez working it down low. Now Hernandez out the far side. Hernandez tries to put it over for Cabana. Now it ends up on the stick of the Vancouver team. Vancouver up the near side. Angels get slowed down by the Ravens, and now they put it towards the high slot before the Ravens get control of it. Ravens come down the far side. Ravens to the outside. Hernandez loses a handle on it now. It comes back to the blue line. Ravens from the blue line, and now it gets on the stick of Moore, and she shoots it towards the net. It gets tipped just wide now. Rebound. It gets cleared out to the outside as the shot gets blocked. Cabana just leaves it for a defender. Morin with it. Morin shoots it towards the net. Saved by the goaltender. Rebound goes out the far side. Tran's waiting the doorstep for it. Tran cuts to the middle. Now she loses a handle on it. Puck goes out to the outside on the Vancouver stick now as they work their way up ice. They chip it to the outside. Ravens hold them to the outside. Puck into the corner and now bounces its way out to the high slot. And we have a penalty coming up, and it's going to be against the Richmond Ravens. It's going to be 2 minutes. It's going to be a body check with 8:17 remaining in the second period. The Ravens go to the penalty kill. Oh, my apologies. If the Ravens go to the power play, I did not see that. So the power play unit comes out. It's Tran, and Kay. Tran to take the face off. Puck drop, face off won by the Angels, and they get it out to the blue line, but not out. Ravens stumble, but don't. They can make sure they get the play off, and then Tran has it on his stick. Tran circles around behind her net. Now Tran with it. Tran cuts to a shooting position. Now shoots it right on. Rebound picked up by the Ravens, and they put it in the back of the net. Tran to Tran. 7:59 remains in the Second period, it looks like Kay might have caught the stick there. She's laboring as she goes back towards the bench. Ravens convert on that power play. 4-0 is the score. Kay remains on. Puck is dropped. Face off one back by the by the Vancouver team. Angels are going to carry it up into the Ravens zone. Ravens get it on their stick. They come up the near side looking for Kay. Kay, she gives chase. Cuts to the middle, and now with a stick lift, puck goes into the outside. Kay ends up going down and taking down her partner and a couple of other players as she did, but the players all come up. They have to touch up. Now the Ravens are good to go to come back in. Tran puts pressure on the forward as the puck gets on to Tran. Tran now cuts to the outside. Tran looking for a place to go with it. She tosses it into the slot on the Sear stick. Sear back to the blue line. Morin has to retreat back as it got past her. It goes over to the far side for David. David chips it up the wall. Now it comes back in the zone. The defenders are going for a change. Vancouver on the wall to the near side. Miguel keeps it down low. She gets some help from Sear. Sear goes behind the net for McDonald. McDonald puts it up the wall to the far side looking for the defender. David puts it back in and now walking with his McDonald into a shooting position. She shoots it on. Saved by the goaltender. Rebound picked up and the goaltender picks that up. 6:48 remains in the second period. Ravens ahead 4-0. Face off to the left side of the Vancouver goaltender. Puck is dropped. Face off one in the middle. The Ravens unable to get a shot off. David holds out of the blue line. She's going to pitchfork that in on the back end, and it's going to come down low. From down low, they put it up the side of the net. Ravens able to pick that up, and Miguel has it on her stick. Miguel back to the blue line. Picked up there by Morin. Morin defended it, puts it over to David. David now, she's going to shoot towards the net. A couple of bodies it hits on the way in, but Ravens still have it. Sear with it now. Sear doubles back and puts it around behind the net. First one there is a Vancouver player, and she's going to come to the outside now up the middle with it. It comes to the neutral zone, and now the Ravens back check on that. They get control of it briefly before it comes into the Ravens zone. They put it up the near side looking for, I think that was Sear on the outside. Now chipped around to the near side as the Vancouver team is looking for some open ice. Ravens are making sure that there's not much of that out there tonight. They fire it up ice. It's touched by one of the Vancouver players, and they have to retreat back to pick it up. Ravens forward line is on a change. Now the puck goes up ice and fired deep into the Ravens zone. It comes around to the near side where Morin is going to pick it up. Morin goes D to D. Vancouver was on it, completing their change. So there's a whole line of white jerseys coming in after the defender there. The Ravens able to get it up ice, though, and out to the neutral zone. They mishandled it there. The puck comes over to the near side, just on the other side of center. Now it comes all the way in to the Ravens zone. From down low, goes around all the way to the far side, and now we have a penalty called. It's going to be a tripping call, I think. I'll wait this time until everybody makes their way to whatever boxes they need to make their way to. It looks like the faceoff's going to be deep in the Ravens zone, and it looks like Morin is going to get called for a trip. So the Ravens are on a penalty kill for 2 minutes, or with 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the second period. Puck is dropped, face off one by the Ravens back into the corner. A battle ensues and it comes out behind the net, from behind the net. Vancouver has it. Vancouver back to the blue line. Now walking the blue line, they put it back to the top of the circles. Walking in from the top of the circles, there's a shot, it's blocked by the Ravens forward. Now the Ravens get it around the defender and they're off to the races. She stumbles a little bit, but comes in. Now the backhand goes just wide of the net as Sear had it on her stick. Play goes around the far side. And now Sear's going to get called for a play at the far end of the ice. And the Ravens will go down 2 players once they are able to get control of it. Now the Ravens touch up. Whistle goes, and the back ref is going to call Sear for retaliation behind the net. So Ravens are down 2 players for 1:17. It'll be 5-on-3. David out there. Miguel. And the captain, McDonald. Puck is dropped. Face off won by Vancouver. They go back to the high slot from the point. It's feathered towards the net, bounces wide. They come right out. Babcock comes across and they put it in the back of the net as it gets underneath the curve. So that will kill one penalty. The Ravens still have a second penalty for a minute 51 with 4:28 remaining in the second period. The score is 4-1. Five on four. If the Ravens win that one, they chip it forward, but he gets past the player now onto the stick of one of the Vancouver players. Angels with it. They come back to their defenseman and over to the far side. From the far side, they put it back out to the middle and now on the near side. Coming up with it now, they get a shot, hits a body, and they try and force it towards the net. It goes in behind the net. Babcock's there. Now comes over to the near side. They're trying to get Babcock moving left to right as the puck comes back out from behind the net. Now back to the point. From the point, it's going to get passed across. Now on the near side, pass it into the slot. Backhand, bounces around in there. Now gets cleared back to the point. From the point, he gets put back into the fray, and Babcock gets a hold of that and holds on to it. Off of a tip. With 3:49 remaining in the second period, the play stops. A minute 11 remains in the penalty for the Richmond Ravens. Puck is dropped, face off one to the wall. Now to try to put it back to the defender. Ravens read that one. They get it up ice. Tran with some speed. She's going to cut to the middle. Tran looking for some room on her backhand. Now she cuts towards the net. She gets forced to the outside. Play continues as the puck goes out the far side. Now down into the Raven zone. Ravens push it back to the outside. Now Battle just at the hash marks deep in the zone to the left side of Babcock. Ravens killing precious time off there. Now we get a stoppage in play as the ref feels the puck was frozen. 42 seconds remains in the penalty to the Richmond Ravens. 3 minutes and 20 seconds remains in the second period. Face off the left side of Babcock. Savannah out there. She's going to take the face off. She wins that cleanly out to the wall. Ends up on the stick of Vancouver, and they're going to walk in with it. Now put it to the top of the circle. A shot wide of the net, and it comes out the near side. From the near side, the Angels have it. They're going to put it back to the point. From the point, they work into a 1-3-1. Shot towards the net. Goes all the way through the house and back out into the neutral zone. 19 seconds remains in the penalty to the Ravens, and Cabana puts some pressure on the defender for the Vancouver team. They get the puck deep in the Raven zone. Ravens have it on their stick, though. Now they're going to find some open ice and put it all the way down with 4 seconds remaining. That should do it for the penalty. From behind the net, play stopped, and the play continues. Cabana with a stick on it now. Vancouver comes up ice with it. They come through the neutral zone. Ravens unable to get a stick on that one. They work all the way to the middle. Now stopping up, she puts it towards the net. Saved by Babcock. Rebound picked up by Babcock, who rolls onto that. 2 minutes and 21 seconds remains in the second period. Ravens ahead 4-1. We're playing 5-on-5 now. Face off won by the Ravens. It goes in behind the net on one of the Vancouver players' sticks. So Vancouver with it. They put it out in the slot. Ravens read that one, and now they come up ice. Ravens skate their way up there, and it's Tran with it on her stick. She cuts to the outside. Now works away to the net. Shot right on, saved by the goaltender. It comes to the outside. Pardon me, that was McDonald with it. It comes over to the near side now. Ravens put it towards the net. Gets into Miguel's feet. She puts it around to the far side. Now Sear waits for it on the other side. Sear goes in hard, and she loses her footing, and now on the stick of one of the Vancouver players. Back to the blue line. They go D to D, and now from the near side, there's a shot right on, saved by the goaltender. A shot by Nishi. The goalie finds that. Peter Glove. We get a stoppage of play with a minute 44 remaining in the second period. Ravens ahead 4-1. Face off will be the left side of the Vancouver goaltender. McDonald, Miguel, and Sear out there for the Ravens forward. Cabana and David are back on the D. Puck is dropped. Face-off won by the Ravens. Now it's picked up there by Vancouver. The Angels try to cut their way in with it. It goes to the outside. David gives chase as Vancouver with some speed puts it in behind the Ravens net. Now Vancouver comes out from behind. They pass it right out front. It bounces to the outside. Now as the Ravens get a stick on it. Now the Ravens with some speed come up the near side. Ravens working their way in. That's here with it on her stick. She fights off a shot check. Puts a shot on, saved by the goaltender. And now Vancouver has it. Play opens up a little bit here. The tail end of the second period as the puck goes down into the Ravens zone. Ravens go back to pick that up. The first one there is a Vancouver Angel. She gets double teamed there by Vancouver. Now she gets that player gets some help in there. They kick it forward onto a Vancouver stick. She curls her way back out and now puts the puck back to the blue line. From the blue line, they put it back to the top of the circle. And now the Ravens read that a chip around the player. And now they get chased back down the ice. It ends up on the defender's stick. And the Ravens are on the change. Ravens wing putting pressure on down low late in the period. He comes around to the near side. Wing with a stick check. Now the puck comes back up the wall on the near side. Vancouver with a passing play up into the neutral zone and ends up back onto the stick of David. David, she turns it back the other way. Ends up hitting the linesman and now on the stick of the defender. She's going to skate up ice and now we have a penalty called against Wing as she gets called for tripping with 24.3 seconds remaining in the second period. 4-1 is the score, and the faceoff will come all the way down beside Babcock. Miguel will take the face off for the Ravens. Puck dropped. It comes all the way down the ice. Ravens, sorry, that's Tran. Gives chase. Tran gets a stick on it, but not enough to be able to control it. Now a back check on that one, and the Vancouver team gets control of it. They drop it at the blue line, now carry it deep. Walking to the middle now with it. They're unable to get a shot off. Ravens get control of it. They get back to the blue line, now fanning on the shot. Vancouver unable to handle that. The play gets stopped on the wall. Shots right now are 31-8 in favor of the Richmond Ravens. All right, the whistle goes, signaling start of the third period. We got a minute 36 remaining in the penalty to the Richmond Ravens. 17 minutes on the clock. Miguel out there to take the face off for the Raven. puck is dropped, face-off won there by the Ravens, but it ends up on the stick of one of the Vancouver players that gets dug out underneath the players. They carry it in, ends up on Sears' stick, and she's going to fire it the length of the ice. The goaltender just about puts it in her own net from our vantage point, but it went in behind the net. And now the puck comes back down the near side. They go D to D as the Ravens are doing a great job of putting pressure on the puck carrier deep in their zone. Now the puck carrier has it. As she comes through the neutral zone, she passes it forward, and the Vancouver team is looking to set it up. They go back to the blue line with it, and they go back to the point. Unable to hold it in, though. They'll have to retreat back and try again. Vancouver goes D to D as they're looking to open up the ice, and now the pass up the middle goes through all the players. We're going to have icing on the play with 45 seconds remaining in the penalty to the Richmond Ravens. There's 16:09 remaining in the game. Ravens are ahead 4-1. Hernandez taking the face-off deep in the zone for the Richmond Ravens. She wins it cleanly. It goes back to the point. Now a knuckle puck, and it hits a body in front. Now comes up the near side. Warren out back to hold on to that one. Make sure that they don't get it forward. She gets some help from Hernandez. As Hernandez holds it out of the zone, and she puts it back deep into the visitors' end. Vancouver works their way along the blue line, gets pushed back by the Ravens. Now they retreat in behind their net. Ravens happy to hold them behind the net. Now it comes out the near side, back out to the middle. Onto the stick of the Ravens. David, she puts it up the wall now for Hernandez. Hernandez passes it to the middle, but it gets just in behind the intended player. That was McDonald waiting for it, but she was ahead of the play, and now Morin has it. Morin back for David on the near side. David fires it back down in. Ravens forwards are on a change, and this penalty kill is expired. We're 5-on-5 here. Ravens stop up and now cut in towards the net. It ends up on the stick of one of the Vancouver players. Now the Ravens have control of it. They're going to reverse back and now find some speed. It goes out the near side and dumped in there by Wing. From behind the net, Vancouver stops up. Their button hook that was read by the Ravens, but play comes back, shot right on, saved by the goaltender as Wing was waiting on the doorstep. 14:50 remains in the third period. 4-1 is the score. Face off to the left side of the Vancouver goaltender. Trying out to take the face off by puck is dropped. Face off won by the Angels. It comes over to the near side at the half wall. Angels get it out to the neutral zone as they're trying to force it to come deep. Play continues as it bounces along there, and now back into the wall, onto a Vancouver stick, and they're going to carry it to the Ravens blue line where it gets stopped by Kate. Tran now has it on her stick. Tran gets pushed back. Tran, she passes it for Sears. Sears just looks for an open spot, ends up on the stick of one of the Vancouver players. She shoots it on net. Babcock makes a save. Picked up by Tran. Tran up the wall on the far side for Kay. Kay loses the handle on it. Now comes back out to the neutral zone where the Ravens. Tran reads it, and she's got it on her stick. Tran unable to handle it cleanly as it gets cleared to the outside by the Vancouver team. Now Tran fights off a couple of body checks there. She carries it down low. The two Tran sisters work it down low on the wall on the far side. Now it ends up on the stick of the Vancouver team. They fire it down ice, and it's going to have enough for icing. With 13:46 remaining in the third period, Ravens ahead 4-1. Face-off will be to the left side of the Vancouver goaltender, deep in their zone. Hernandez to take the face-off for the Ravens. She's got Cabana and Wing out there with her. Puck is dropped. Goes to Wing. Wing with it. Wing shoots it towards the net, saved by the goaltender. She's going to hold on to that. They'll do it all over again in the same place with only 13:39 remaining. Puck is dropped this time. It gets to the wall. Wing seals the wall off briefly now. She gets some help there from the defender, Morin at the blue line. The play stays inside the zone. Vancouver with control of it now as they work their way out of the zone. Vancouver, they cut to the outside. Now they kick it forward. David holds them to the outside. Play goes back to Morin. For Cabana. Cabana off the wall, back into the neutral zone. Ravens touch it up, and now they go down ice with it as Vancouver collects it from behind their own net. Vancouver with a couple of quick moves there, and now a penalty is going to be called against the Richmond Ravens on a trip from behind the net is the player that went between her legs. I think it's Wing making her way back to the box for at least the second time tonight. We're 5-on-4 for 12 minutes and 59 seconds remaining in the game. Miguel comes in to have a talk with the ref and just asks, to explain the call. The way that they saw that was the player reversed the play and ended up stepping on her stick. The ref said, well, if you like control your stick, can't put it underneath the player's feet. Everyone nods their head, okay, we get it, and away we go again. Miguel in for the face-off. The puck is dropped. Face-off goes back to the blue line. From the blue line, they're going to bring it over to the near side. From the near side, goes to the high slot. Miguel gets a stick on that one, make sure it gets out to the outside and out of harm's way. Now the puck over to the near side. They're going to shoot it. It goes wide of the net and out the far side. From the far side, Miguel gets a stick on that. Off of her backhand to her forehand, off the glass and down the ice. Play continues. Puck is going through the neutral zone, coming in with some speed. The Ravens with a stick check, and it comes in, and Babcock's going to stop that and hold on to it with 1:25 remaining in the penalty to the Ravens. 12:24 remains in the game. Face off taken by McDonald. The puck is on the outside though. Goes back to the point. From the point over to the deep on the near side. She walks it in down low, fighting using her body to push the puck off, and now she walks into a shooting position. That shot hits the body in front, and now McDonald has it on her stick. Now onto David's stick. David unable to clear. Now walking in with it to a shooting position. There's a shot wide of the net as it hit David, who blocked that. Now from behind the net goes out the wall and down the ice as the Ravens get a change on the penalty kill unit. 40 seconds remains in the penalty to the Richmond Ravens, and that long pass just in front of its intended target. Raven Sear steps up to just put it back in the neutral zone. Now the Vancouver team brings it in. They look to set it up and now walk towards a shooting position. Their shot blocked by the Ravens, and now Tran has it. Tran goes out the far side. Now Vancouver with it. They put it around the near side. 17 seconds remains in the penalty to the Sear. Gets control of it. She puts it around to the far side. Play comes back to the near side. Sear with it on her stick. Sear reverses the play, and now she goes down ice. And that's stopped by the player coming off the bench. That's Kay. Kay cuts the net with a breakaway. She shoots. Saved by the goaltender. Now Kay still puts back to the blue line and gets through all the players. Now a shot from the blue line, right on, saved by the goaltender who holds on to that one. Ravens got away with one there. They were awful close to being called for too many men on the ice as the player coming off of the out of the penalty box was making her way to the bench as Kay came on the ice and received the pass. Miguel to take the face-off, puck is dropped, it goes to the outside onto the stick of the Vancouver team. Now they're going to just shoot it down ice. I think that's going to be enough for icing. And they call icing on the play. There's David, the first one back. 10:36 remains in the game. 4-1 is the score. Play is going to make its way down the left side of the Vancouver goaltender. Miguel to take the face-off again. Puck is dropped, face-off one to the middle this time, and now gets out into the neutral zone. David with it, she's going to fire it back deep. Ravens touch up, and now they go in after the puck. Doubling back from behind their own net. Ravens get enough of a stick on it to keep it down low. Play in behind the net. Now it gets centered out front. Shot into the back of the net. It's a backhand play from behind the net by, I think that was McDonald, finds Sear in front, and she's Makes no mistake to put it in the net on the near side. "5-1 is your score. 10-14 remains in the third period. Puck's dropped. Hernandez was the face-off artist there. It ends up coming out to the outside. Vancouver with it on the stick. Vancouver are going to chip it up, and I think that's out of play. I think it went into the player bench or off of one of the players. So they're saying it's just face-off's going to be inside, though, even though it was shot out of play by the Vancouver team. Hernandez to take the face-off. He's got Cabana and wing with her. Face-off one to the wall. Play continues. Ravens get, puck comes out to the middle, now playing with it there. The Ravens now already carried up the near side. Wing fights off a stick check, and now she continues with the puck. Wing gets taken down. Play continues. Now the Ravens battle for it in the near side, deep in the Vancouver zone. Angels reverse the play around to the near side. Now the Angels have it. They're going to carry it up wall. Ravens defender steps up and it gets past her. Ravens. Hernandez gets a stick on that one, but she had some pressure on her. Now the play comes back in behind Babcock's net. First one there is Nishi. Nishi reverses the play. Sear now reverses it again. On to Wing stick. Wing cuts to the middle. Wing with a little bit of speed. She's going to cut to the outside now. Wing looking to drop it back. Now on the stick of the Ravens. I think that's Cabana. Cabana gets double teamed on the wall. Now back to the blue line. Lauren tries to hold the blue line. She gets some help there from Tran. Tran unable to hold the blue. Now the Ravens touch up and Tran goes back in. Tran, she fights off a couple of checks and now she works her way towards the net. It goes in behind. Still controlling the puck. She puts it back to the top of the circle. It goes back in, looking for Tran. Now back to the blue line. It rolls on Moore, and she's going to have to back out as the Ravens need to touch up. Ravens now with it. Tran on her stick. Tran makes her way in, and now a shot from the point. Blocked to the wall by the goaltender. Ravens have it back to the blue line. From the blue line. Shot towards the net. It was now over to the near side. Vancouver comes up the ice with it. Vancouver cuts to the middle. Now they lose a handle on it. Now the Ravens go back the other way. It gets in the skates of one of the Ravens, but they get back control of it, and that's Tran. She's going to clear it down ice and go for a change. Kay gives chase down in the other zone. Now Vancouver with it. Vancouver comes up the wall, far wall. Now they cut to the middle. Vancouver into the Ravens zone. Now to the outside. Being watched by the Ravens. Sear, she holds her to the outside. Play continues. Now they're saying a penalty called again. It's going to be called against Sear for body checking. .735 remains in the game. The refs are penalizing this team that's ahead 5-1. They're telling them that they need to not be taking their penalties or rough stuff with the visiting team. Miguel takes the face off. It's one there, but the Ravens are able to get enough on that to get it out to the neutral zone. Sear gives chase. Puck gets turned back, and now onto the stick of the Vancouver team. They end up going back in their own zone, and they go D to D with it. Ravens put pressure on at the far blue line. Now it's passed forward and into the Ravens zone they come. Puck to the outside. Nishi slows that down. Players get back up. They come together. Play continues. Now from behind the net. It gets dropped. Now out to the blue line. Held in at the blue line. Now a shot off the crossbar and wide. Puck back to the blue line. From the blue line. Back to the point. From the point. Back over to the top of the circle. She walks in. She shoots it right on. Babcock makes the save and holds on to that. With 1:09 remaining in the third or in the penalty to the Richmond Ravens. 6:44 remains in the third period. 5-1 is the score, and the face-off will go to the right side of Babcock. McDonald and Hernandez out there for the forwards. David and Morin are the defenders. The puck goes up in the air, now onto the stick of McDonald, and she gets it all the way down the ice. Vancouver collects that behind their own net. They get stuffed up in some snow, and now the Ravens will be able to put some pressure on there. McDonald's in, putting some pressure. She actually has control of that from behind the net, and now she loses a handle on it as Vancouver comes up the near side. They end up putting it onto the stick of David, who just shoots it back in behind the net and kills some more time off. 37 seconds remains in the penalty as the Ravens just keep putting it back deep. Ravens unable to handle it now, and it goes around to the far side from behind the net. Now stepping in, the Ravens get a handle on that one or stop it up for a second before it comes to the high slot. That long pass read by the Ravens. David, she just steps in and holds it the outside. Now walking in with it is the shooter for the Vancouver player. Babcock makes the save, and she's going to hold on to that. As Vancouver hit the Ravens with some speed and they cut to the outside, they got a shot from the outside. Babcock made the save, picked up the rebound, and we have a face-off deep in the Ravens zone. Wing is going to take the face-off for the Ravens. Puck is draw, face-off one back to the point. From the point, it goes back to the near side, shot wide of the net. It goes over to the far side. Nishi steps in. Nishi goes to battle in the corner, and now walking out with it is the Vancouver team, and now we have a penalty coming up. It's going to be cross-check or interference, and it's going to be against Wing, her third of the game. So now the Ravens are back 5-on-4 as the penalty had just expired. 5 minutes and 28 seconds remains in the third period. 2 minutes on the clock. Miguel allowed to take the face off. Puck drop, face off one back by the Vancouver team. Vancouver with it at the blue line. They put it to the top of the circles. Now back to the blue line. Walking the blue line, and there's a shot. Saved by Babcock and comes to the outside. Sear puts pressure on behind the net. She's triple teamed, but comes out with the puck. Sear, with all the heart in the world, comes down ice with it. Sear gives it a chip, and now she's interfered with. And then whistle goes as Sear drew a penalty. We're 4-on-4 for 2 minutes or about a minute 30, and then the Ravens will go to a power play with 4:59 remaining in the third period. Taking the face-off is Miguel. She wins that one cleanly back, and now the Ravens walk the blue with it. That pass goes D to D, and now walking up with it's more, and she's going to shoot it towards the net. That's gloved by the goaltender. She's going to hold on to that one. Play stops, and we have 4:49 remaining in the period. A minute 21 remains the penalty to Wing. Face off the left side of the goaltender. The puck is dropped. It goes to the outside, and now Ravens unable to handle that one as it gets out in front of the goal timekeeper's bench. Battle for the puck continues. Now the Ravens have control of it. That's Miguel with it. She puts it over to the far side, and now the play goes back in as Cabana gets chased. Cabana from behind the net. She stops up, and now she has it on her forehand, now to her backhand, as she's going to weave in behind the net. Cabana still has it. Now she reverses play the other way. Puts it out to the near side where the Ravens think Sear has it. Now she's going to backhand it right on, saved by the goaltender who holds on to that. 39 seconds remains in the 4-on-4 here with 4:07 remaining in the period. Hernandez to take the face-off. Puck is dropped. Face-off won by the Vancouver team. It goes in behind the net. Centered out front looking for Hernandez. She can't handle that one cleanly, and now the puck comes back down ice. There's 30 seconds remaining in this 4-on-4. The Vancouver player able to get out. Now a stick check. Keeps a shot out of the zone. Now Kay with it. Kay is going to go out the outside. Kay headmans it down the ice. Kay chips it in, and she still has control. The Kay going to the net. Kay with a shot, saved by the goaltender. Play comes up the ice the other way as Vancouver comes in 2-on-2. Vancouver chips it out to the outside. Play continues. Morin with it. Morin puts it up ice. Onto the stick of Hernandez. Hernandez with some speed. Hernandez now. She takes a stick check, but still has control of it. Play down low or deep in the Vancouver zone. Battle ensues, and now Vancouver has it on their stick. Vancouver's now killing the penalty here as it's 5-on-4 for 14 seconds. Vancouver carries it up ice. The tired forwards for the Ravens heading to the bench. First one there to pick that up is a Vancouver player. And Babcock makes the save as the whistle goes, and Vancouver player sticks at the goaltender. She literally kneeled on the goalie's head on her way up, but I guess that's good, clean hockey as the play continues, and we have 2:58 remaining in the period. Trying to take the face off, puck is dropped for trying to win that one cleanly. It goes in behind the net on Sear's stick. Sear with lots of speed around the near side. Sear heads up ice. Sear works her way down ice. Sear picks it up from behind the net. Now she tries to center it out front. It rolls, and now onto the stick of one of the Ravens. That's the older Tran's sister. Tran now centers it. It goes right through the house, and now back the other way comes Vancouver. Vancouver with a chip and a chase, and now McDonald back to pick that up. McDonald keeps it to the outside. Now Tran with it off the wall, and Tran are off to the races as the Vancouver team was on a change. Tran to the outside, now deep in the zone. She's going to cut around the outside, now right on. Shot hits the goaltender and goes back into the corner. Vancouver has it as they come out, and down the near side, the play opens up just a little bit. David with it on her stick. David puts it over to the far side. Ravens put it right on net. The goaltender holds on to that. Refs tell him that she has a little bit of room and that she should play it, so the play continues. Now the stretch pass, blocked by the Ravens. It comes to the outside, now into the Ravens zone. David puts it up the wall and back out to the neutral zone. A minute 43 remains in the game. Ravens ahead. Play continues. Now the puck on Morin's stick. Morin chips it off the wall on the far side. Cabana's off to the races. Cabana with a little bit of open ice, cuts to the outside. Now in behind the net. Cabana works her way to a shooting position. She shoots it right on, saved by the goaltender, holds on that one. And we have a minute 23 remaining in the third period. Face-off will be to the right side of the Vancouver Angels goaltender. I'll take the face-off. That's Miguel. Puck is dropped, one to the wall. Now on the stick of Vancouver, and they're going to come out with it. Vancouver cuts to the middle now. They're looking for some open ice. They work their way into the zone. They chip it past the defender, and it goes in behind the Ravens goal line. Miguel is the first one there. She's got a couple of players on her, and now she finds her footing. She gets some help from Sear. Sear tries to pass it out front. It hits a stick and comes over, or skate and comes over to the near side. David with it on her stick. Puck goes up in the air and now comes back out to the front. Play continues. Miguel puts pressure on. Miguel, puck goes over to this point. Now shot right on off of a tip, and Babcock makes the save with 43.5 seconds remaining in the third period. Ravens ahead 5-1. Hernandez unable to win that one cleanly. Now the puck is back to the blue line. Tips around in front, and now Babcock watches it. Trickles just wide of the net. Skating with it now is Hernandez. Hernandez unable to handle it cleanly, but gets it out to the neutral zone, and now it comes out into the zone. The Ravens get it inside. Ravens with 30 seconds left. Shoot it right on. Saved by the goaltender. Now from behind the net, it comes out front. Bouncing around in the high slot. There's a shot. hits the body, and now Vancouver comes back to the blue line before the Ravens put it back deep. 15 seconds remains on the clock. A sharp angle shot saved by the goalie. It goes over to the far side. Play remains as the Ravens have it. Ravens now going to take it back into the corner. They try to go back to the point, stepping in. At 10 seconds left, there's a shot. Hits the body and goes wide. That's going to do it for the game as the Ravens come out victorious. 5-1 is the score. Shots on goal. 42 Ravens, 14 for the Vancouver Angels.